Here we go. All right. So it is Friday, October, October 24th.
You're going in the
Eh,
summer there.
It's not August. Yes, I need the cold weather. It's hot. It's still hot.
It's still hot there. It's cooling down here.
Yeah, for us, cool is like 85.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need it to cool down a little bit. There actually is a cold front coming, and it's going to get down to 80. Woohoo, cold front.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Um, So yeah, it's the 24th. It's Friday, and we're celebrating more all-time highs. It seems to be I don't know how many, like this is the 100th time this year. It's like
I
S&P
know.
all-time high today, up 1%. The Russell almost all-time high, close to it, 1.4, 1.5%. The Nasdaq up 1.2%, all-time high. Woohoo, Nasdaq. Dow Jones also all-time high. Um, Gold is flat today, off a little bit off the high. VIX is down to 16, and Bitcoin is at 110,000. With oil's actually been moving up, but today it's down. Oil's at 61 and a half.
Yeah,
So,
big news.
yep, we do have a market power today.
I know. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
It'll be a over the weekend trade.
An over the weekend 3-day trade. But those have been like originally, I used to be scared of those because it's like, oh, you never know what's gonna happen on the weekend. But then they
They
end up
they work
fine.
out. They work out just
Sometimes
well.
they do better. They do better than the weekday
I
trades.
know. Um,
Uh,
I too. I was a little bit hesitant with them. I was like, oh, we have all this overnight risk or over the weekend risk, and you know, but they work great. They do.
mm-hmm. Yep. So uh okay. All right. So what's going on? How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Just It's really interesting with the inflation. We have the CPI that came out today.
After a while, right?
Right.
Delayed CPI number.
And they're still wondering whether they're going to have the October one now because the government may still be shut down.
Mm.
So there is a question. They're really just going off the information of the CPI report that we just got. So then we have the Fed meeting coming up, which is huge,
Next
um,
week, yes.
next week. So, you know, the it came a little bit lower than expectations. They had, I think it was 3.1.
3%. Or was it
Yeah,
3
and
point?
it
I thought
came
it
in
was
at
3%.
yeah, it came in at 3, but they
Oh, okay.
were anticipating at 3.1. So
Okay.
it's slightly lower. And Wall Street just rejoiced about that. So as you can see, the market is continuing to go up, and they expect that we'll have those cuts coming up.
Yes, those would be on Wednesday.
Yeah. So now if for any reason they do not cut or they hike or something, whoa, that'd
Well,
be huge.
they're not
But
gonna hike.
yeah, I know they won't, but it's always interesting to kind of see how that plays out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's too much pressure, I think. Um, the jobs are still heading lower, right? I think, um, and that's
Well,
what they've been
Target
concerned
just had
about.
some cuts, some layoffs.
Target's had layoffs, other companies have had layoffs, and they're not hiring, you know? I was reading some stats yesterday that 1/3 of the people who are unemployed are college graduates. And so even if you're a college graduate, you still cannot find a job, which is that you go to college, you spend all the time there, you spend all the money there, and you come out and you're
Right.
like, okay, I'm ready to rule the world. And you go to your job interview and they're like, well, everything you know is outdated.
And this is the truth,
It
right?
is for sure.
It's frightening. They said that in the future, you'd probably be better off being a plumber or a person, or electrician going forward.
Something if you're doing it with your hands, you probably until they have
Yeah,
robots, of course, until they have the robots, that's
until.
the Elon Musk said that the Tesla robot will be the best surgeon of all time.
I know I have mixed feelings about that. Of course, with anyone, you
Well,
know.
one of my favorite stocks is ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, right?
Mhm.
And they have robot surgeons. They have the Da Vinci robot, which is used for knee replacements and knee surgeries and all types of other surgeries. Where you probably, I don't know if you've seen it on like the medical shows, they still show like the operating room where all the doctors are in there cutting and doing it by hand. But, if you go into the real practice, the doctor is not even in the room, and the doctor is using, like scissors or something. It looks like he's doing something with his hands, but the robot is actually the one that's doing all the cutting and everything. Like he's controlling from afar, and then the robot does the rest. So, um, when my dad had knee surgery last year, I think it was last year, yeah. Um, he went to a doctor, and the doctor was like, the knee doctor, he goes, I work in a practice with like 10 other knee doctors, and every single one of them uses the robots. I'm the only one that does it by hand still. So it's coming.
It's
It's
already here. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's going to get more like that, which I don't know. I would probably, I would feel better, I think, if a robot was doing it than a doctor, because, you know,
Yeah,
um, mistakes that happen in the operating room or mistakes, people.
I know that they're like, oh, we're supposed to operate on your left lung. We did the right
Yeah, we
lung.
cut off
Oh,
we cut
sorry.
off the wrong arm. Sorry,
Uh,
we took out your liver when we were supposed to take out something else. No, but the numbers on people who die from reasons of incompetence or whatever mistakes by doctors in the hospital is astronomical. It's
yep, human error. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. They got to be awake. They got to be with it. They could be having a bad personal day. I mean, who knows, right? So,
Yep.
yeah, for
So,
sure.
but so then yeah, so we'll have the Fed next week. The CPI came in good. The fact that inflation is going down by itself, that's good. And then it gives, the Fed a reason to say, okay, yeah, we can go ahead and cut, Um, and it makes sense. So I think that'll be cool. And I think because of this CPI number coming in at 3, you'll see some of these people, especially the one that Trump appointed, he's going to be like, well, we need to cut like 50 cents. We need to cut half a point, a quarter point, not a
Wasn't
quarter
it
point.
one of the one of them wanted like to cut it like $1 or something?
Yeah, he did. He was like the one lone guy who was like, I want a lot of cuts. Uh, but then so I think we'll have that, and it'll continue to go. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm still into the idea of these put trades, whether you're doing spreads or you're doing, we're pretty confident in the direction, right, overall for the market. So
Hmm.
looking at those strategies that continue to work.
Yeah, they have been working. They continue to work. Um, there are, for example, I have some naked puts on in Netflix, and Netflix has it's not been making highs. It has not been going up. And it just had earnings a couple days ago, and it
Yeah,
really
and that's
it's really down since then, probably over 10% since then. So I'm having to roll this. What was a 1 week trade has now turned into like a multi-month saga, and I'm still rolling, and I'm gonna continue to roll. And if I do, because I'm definitely in the money considerably over $100. And so if I do get assigned, I'll take the stock, and then I'll be selling calls on it until it recovers. But that's part of the game. So even though we're like, okay, yeah, market's going to go up, it's still stock by stock. Some stocks are doing well, some stocks are not. There are still some stocks like Lululemon and Nike and whatnot that are not doing that well. So you have to be careful on what you choose.
yeah, Nike's they're trying to really become relevant. They're coming up with all these products to set themselves apart, special shoes, using technology. So it'd be interesting to see what they can do. But I had a question for you. When you do get assigned, how often do you go back and do that covered call above it? Do you wait a few days typically?
Um, I might put it on that same day.
Same day?
Yeah, I mean it depends on the
The
price
movement?
movement, how it's been behaving. So, right? So if it was like a big move down, with no news or anything, I might wait a couple of days, um, just to see if it pops back up again. But if it's been like a slow decline, then I'll put it back on right away.
Yeah, that was my answer. I was curious about how everyone plays it a little bit different,
Yeah.
but you take advantage of that price action.
Yeah. And then there's also something called the stock repair strategy, um, where, if you have the shares, you can sell more naked puts on it. And then that the money that you make from selling those naked puts and the covered calls goes to lower your cost basis to the point where, maybe you can get back to like no loss and then you can either get out or whatnot. So it's really a matter of, okay, how much money am I down on this trade? How do I get it back? And then that will dictate whether you stay in it or not. So like
What was your thought process when you first were getting to the puts? Were you doing to just get the premium or are you looking to be assigned?
yeah, no, no. I
Yeah.
mean, so I have different accounts, and in this account that I have it in it's mainly a trading account. I just wanna grow the account. I'm not really looking to hold anything very long. In my retirement accounts, yeah, I'll hold it for, 10 years, 20 years, whatever I need to. But in this trading account, it's more about, okay, I want to grow the account. So I really don't want to get assigned. I just want the income. And so, um, you know, just yesterday is when I rolled it another week forward. No, actually, no, I rolled it, oh no, I had to roll Meta as well. So Meta is also another one that I have a naked put on that has not it made money for a long time. I was doing it week after week after week. It was doing great. Then it kind of fizzled or kind of stabilized. And so I've been rolling it because it's been in the money for maybe a month and a half now. And so yesterday I had to roll it into next week, and next week is Facebook earnings.
I was just gonna say, oh, it must be earnings is coming up there.
Yeah, so it gave me a couple $1,000 for each one for the roll, but I'm going to take the risk of holding it into earnings. Now, the stock is at 737 and my put is 745. So, I'm not that far out of the money. I'm what, $8 out of the money. And so I'm assuming that Meta will have good earnings because they've had good earnings for the last few times. And if that happens, then I'll be able to get out next week. If not, and they have bad earnings, then it's going to be kind of like a Netflix situation where just going to keep rolling it and rolling it. And Netflix, I had to roll into the monthly option. So now I'm in the November puts, which are going to be, they're 28 days to expiration. So I wanted to add more time in there because now I'm actually $160 in the money, but it's still a $1,100 stock. So, um, you know, I, I wanted to have more time premium in there so that I do not get assigned.
Right. The reason I asked, a lot of people ask that, right? They're like, okay, am I in this to grow the account or am I in a retirement account? So how you have it split up is a big answer to that question.
Right. Yeah.
How you do it.
So like I have my IRAs and SEPs and whatever, and those are all retirement. And then this is just the trading account that's owned by the company. So it's a company that does invest. It's like so I set up a company that do all my investments, and then the trading account is owned by that company.
Got it. Very good.
So what else we got going on?
So we talked about a couple episodes back, we talked about how the government is starting to take share or take stake of these companies. right? Almost like a nationalistic grab of these companies. Uh,
Hmm.
so we saw this a couple days ago with the
We even
quantum
made a
computing.
watch list about it.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So there was a rumor that came out a few days ago about how Trump was looking to take stake in some of these quantum computing companies. Um, one of them's in our what you call it? Our
The SmackDown.
yeah, our SmackDown, IONQ, right? And it just shot up. All of them shot up. But then the rumor came out that they were, oh no, we're not likely to do that. So it kind of went down. But it shows their intention, right? About how this is becoming more and more commonplace.
Hmm.
So I actually do have a chart of this. So I'm going to share it and let me know when you see that.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so this is the quantum stocks. So this is Trump, where he plans to take equity stake in these companies and have it broken down into different areas. So you have quantum computers and quantum cloud services. So we just talked about IONQ as one of them, IBM, of course, Google, and then you get into data storage and management. You have QMC0, QMQO, WIMI, and then, of course, chips and solutions, Intel, Holo, and then you have quantum security encryption. So these are the different quantum stocks
So these
and
are like possible things that they could,
possible things that they may take stake in.
yeah. So they
This is
already own piece of Intel.
yes.
IBM and Google, Honeywell, those might be too big, I think. Um, just looking at them, I know IBM hit an all-time high today. Google also hit an all-time high today. I haven't checked Honeywell. Um, but from what I remember in the other ones, the ones that they've bought, those companies all wanted money. Like they all needed money to do something,
Pay to
right?
play.
Yeah. So the government was like, sure, we'll give you money, but we want, a percentage in return. So we're not just going to hand out free money.
Of
And
course, part of the
so
deal. You gotta,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think that makes sense. So like on this list, the top four that you have on the left, the Qubit, the Rigetti, the D-Wave, and the Ion, those are, I would probably say, most likely the ones that they might go after. Um, and all of those are, I mean, they're on our meme stock list also as meme stocks, because they've been like just flying high and coming shooting down and going up and going down, and um, it's really insane. And today they're up a little bit. Um, like Qubit is up 1%, Rigetti's up 1.4%, so they're up a little bit today. Icon is up 3.3%. So it's like they have good days and bad days. But yeah, thank you for sharing this because this is like, okay, these are the possibles, I think. IBM, Google, Honeywell, I don't think they need money. So that probably kind of rules them out. Intel, they're already in. I don't know the other ones on the right side. Um,
I like
but
how it's split up though in this picture because you're like, okay, what part is it? This is cloud services. This is data storage and management. Sometimes we're not always familiar with some of these companies, so it's nice
yeah.
to how it broke it up.
Yeah, they're all pretty small. Most of the ones that are really working on it. Um, and so
But it definitely fits the trend of what the government is doing, right? So we're going to probably see more and more of this.
yeah, I mean, if you take a look and it's be like, okay, hey, if we're playing offense defense, right? It's kind of like the space race again. It's like it's a competition between two parties, and there's not just who gets to the moon. It's all this stuff. It's like, okay, who has all the Earth medals and who has the biggest military and who has best AI chips and who
We're
has the
talking about the
most
future,
chips.
right? The future and the power.
Yeah, and I
You
mean,
get
you
down to
take
it.
a look at this quantum computing. I mean, they are still at least 10 years away from having a working quantum computer. But if they get there, and whoever gets there, that computer is going to be, probably one of those computers is going to be as powerful as half the other computers in the world or something like it. It's mind-boggling how powerful it will be. So, and that's assuming that they get there, like if it's even possible. They say it's possible, but nobody's done
You
it
see
yet.
people on both sides of it, right? Some people say, okay, yeah, that's like 10 years out. Some people are like, oh, that's around the bend, and then
Mm.
people are like, we'll see. No.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but directionally that's where we're headed. So if you were confident you're directionally confident, it's something to consider.
Yeah. So I mean, like the one thing is like, okay, so you have these top four, right? And Google's also doing it. IBM's also been working on it. I didn't know Honeywell was working on it, but it says here that they're doing ion trap, which I don't know. I don't know what the heck that means.
I don't know either.
But like I know, the qubit or the quantum computing, the Rigetti, the D-Wave. I know those guys have been working on computers. I don't know what ion Q does. I don't know what ion trap is. But IBM and Google have been working on them. So it's like, okay, it's kind of like, when Bitcoin was coming out, like years ago, it was like, oh, hey, there's this cool, awesome thing. It's going to be a really big
This
deal.
magic internet money.
Yeah, but it's only like, 50 cents a coin or a dollar a coin or something. But it came from like zero. Now it's at a dollar. And people are like, okay, whatever. But these stocks are relatively, in terms of dollars, they're not that expensive. Like Rigetti is $40 a share. So it's like, okay, I don't even know which one of these is going to win. Like it's a race.
Right. No, it's too early to tell.
It's
There's
a
always
race between
yes.
them as well.
Yeah,
They're all
it is.
racing. And most of them are probably not going to finish in the race because they'll run out of money, they'll get bought, they'll, just give up. Their technology will not be adapted by everybody or something, and you don't know which one to actually put your money on. But if this was like a Bitcoin or it was kind like what was it, the VHS versus the 8-track.
Mhm.
Like that was back in the day, that was a race. And the 8-track was actually better than the VHS tape, but the VHS tape became adopted by most people. And so that one became the norm and the standard. So it's going to be something similar to these types of computers. Um, and if somebody has like, okay, hey, I got, you know, $1,000 or $5,000 and I'm really willing to place a bet on it. Instead of maybe betting on the Giants or the Chiefs or something, you put a $500 in each one of these and be
Well,
like, okay,
it's more of a structured bet in my mind. Yes, it is a risk, right? And I think that is, I think it is healthy to have a little bit of your portfolio, just a tad, where you scratch that itch, right? And you put it towards something like this.
yeah, because I think part of it is the power that can come from this. So if a Rigetti or a quantum or whatever, if they do come and have the first quantum computer, if they actually create a quantum computer, there's a very good likelihood that they become the largest company in the world very quickly, because that's everybody's going to be after that. Like everybody's going to want it, everybody's going to need it. And
Yeah,
it's going to,
for getting a video, they're gonna pile
oh
on
yeah,
that.
they'll be huge. Um, and so putting a few $100 in each one of them might pay off.
Yeah, you could do it that way too. You could kind of spread it along your $1,000 and
Hmm.
let
And
it
then there are
rip.
probably other companies that do the same thing as well. So, or there might be like an ETF. There probably is an ETF, like a quantum
I'm
computing
sure.
ETF. You just buy the ETF and then you get the benefits of all that. So, uh, but
It kind of
yeah,
made me laugh about quantum because they said, they're talking about, oh yeah, if quantum comes along, it can hack Bitcoin. I'm like, well, you have a pin to your bank. I mean, I'm sure it's going to hack that too. So it made me laugh. I mean,
oh,
you
that's
have a
four digits. That
four,
four
four
digits
digit
is
pin. I mean,
nothing.
I think the banking industry is in trouble too. I mean,
Yep. And that's
uh,
why the banking industry is also, they've been talking about moving over to an Ethereum type blockchain and using that instead of what they're currently using. And so they're trying to stay abreast. and stay on top of things.
Yeah, they have to. They know it
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
they're getting disrupted, on all sides. Like I just got the Coinbase credit card, you know?
Did you?
Yeah, I got that I got
Ah,
approved for that a couple days ago. It's in the mail. And they're promising 4% cash back on all purchases. So actually they don't give you cash, they give you Bitcoin. So 4% of all my purchases, I get some Bitcoin. Which is pretty cool for me. Like, okay, I'm planning on holding it anyway. So
yeah, you just get a little piece of it and you're spending and you
yeah,
just put
and
it away.
then hopefully it keeps going up.
Yeah, you can
I'm
move it
okay with that.
anytime. Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah, I mean, my other card right now, I'm using another card that has 2% back, right? So or miles or whatever. So it's like, okay, 4%, that's a big difference.
yeah, I have a Gemini and it gives you percent back. So it's like, hey, you're out shopping, you get 4% for this, or you do gas, you get 3% or whatever. But it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, but these are like Gemini and Coinbase are not banks,
No,
and they're coming after the credit card industry.
they really are. Yeah.
So that's a big market right there. Cool, man.
Yep.
Okay.
Times are changing.
It's hard to stay on top of all this stuff. But that's why
Cool.
we're here to help
I
people
know.
stay on top of it. What else? What else you got?
So, I had an interesting, um, one of our members mistakenly, so I put this, everybody has been put into this position one time or another. It's like the learning curve of a trader, right? It is. So this member actually put a trade on, okay, and didn't realize it was real money. Okay. So they get in trouble and you feel terrible, right? All the feelings that you have when you put a trade on that you shouldn't have, or you make a mistake. It's all part of the journey, if you will, of a trader. And it made me think about, okay, I've been in here this before. How do we mitigate these feelings? They're gonna happen. It happens to every one of us. And it made me think about my own um, when I did this, right? My own mistake. So for me, it made me think about, okay, so my experience was I was at a Cracker Barrel, okay, of all places, and I was putting a trade on. My
You're
wife,
putting
she,
you're putting a trade on while you're doing that little triangle thing.
no, I didn't want to do that. That was the whole idea. Okay, I was bored with that, so I'm like, oh, I'll go do a paper trade, right? My wife, she went over to the gift store for a second. I had some time. I was like, okay, I want to do this trade, and I put a trade on, I put a credit spread on, and sitting there, I put it on, and I forgot about it. But it was real money, and I got completely blown up. So it happens to everybody. I'm sure if people say, "Oh no, that hasn't happened to me," they're straight out lying because it happens to every one of us. But it brings up a good idea of like how do we deal with these feelings and what can we do to make sure that they're limited in their scope of what happens. So the the one thing I try to tell people all the time is to, regardless of your level and your experience, get in the habit of sounding out loud your trade as you do it. So that may jar you in that moment to be like, okay, am I doing it in paper, or am I doing it, or am I doing the right trade, for example, and doing the trade to completion? Because I think as we progress, we start to be like, okay, we know what we're doing, and that's where you make the mistakes, regardless of your level. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I'm sure you have a few.
Well, I agree
Um,
with you because I think
yeah,
it's like sometimes you're in a rush to put it on, or
even more so. Yeah,
you get something and you're excited, and so you just gets done and it goes through. I don't think it has anything to do. I mean, obviously it happens more when you're newer and
for
not
sure.
as familiar with the software or the app or whatever you're using. And so like for me, I don't trade on the phone. Like I don't know anything.
Well,
Um,
in my case, it was on the phone, right? And I'm
yeah, it's
used,
on the
so that was a perfect example of that.
Yep.
So
Oh, I'm actually getting a delivery right now, so go
You're
ahead.
getting a visitor.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday gift just showed up. I got myself a chair, a new chair. So
Really? Okay. You're gonna have to tell me how that is, because I need one myself.
yeah, I sent an email about it a couple days ago. I was
Very
like,
important to, oh,
yeah,
did you? Okay.
yeah, I had no, I wanted to send an email to everybody and I didn't know what to talk about. So I was like, because what happened is like, the market's been going up a lot recently. It's been doing well. And so the account's growing. So I took some of that out and I splurged. And this is like, I think, I don't know, I paid like $900 for this office chair, which is for me, it's a lot of money. I mean, the one I've been using this chair for, several years now, and this was like $100 Office Depot type thing.
It's so important as a trader. You
But
have to
my,
have
my
a
back,
good
my butt and my
chair.
back are killing me. So
Yep.
I'm like, I need something better. So I saw this thing and it was on a Kickstarter. So I got it from Kickstarter and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. So I ordered it and it just came in and I'm gonna have to put it together. But it was like we need to splurge on
I
on
agree.
stuff.
Healthy. You should
So
realize that,
yeah.
take
So
the
so
gains and do something with it. So
yeah. So
congratulations.
I apologize for that. I apologize for the interruption. But like I was saying that, I don't think it does have to do with experience. Like the more experienced you are, the more you've done it before, the less you'll do it. But it doesn't matter because you're still going to do it. You're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to mess up. Um, the software might change on you, right? They might have an update. You might move to a different broker, and their system is different. And so there's always things. And like I said, you did it on your phone. I don't like to trade on my phone. I'll check. I'll check how everything is doing, and if I need to get out of a trade, I know how to say, trade, exit, position, click.
Right.
That's the maximum of my thing. But if you tell me, hey, you need to set up a spread or a condor or whatever, I'm like, I'm not doing it on my phone. And so that's one way I mitigate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen regardless of your level. But being rushed is a big one.
Mhm.
Like, I wouldn't be putting a trade on when you put your new chair together. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
wouldn't do that. But
yeah. No, but like
it,
you said, you should read it out. I think that's a really good idea. I know, if you're in a room with other people or whatever, it might
yeah,
sound
you have to,
stupid.
you may look crazy, right?
It
You're in the
doesn't matter.
library doing it or something. I mean,
But it definitely helps, we had talked about mine, the one I made a couple of weeks ago or a week ago was when I bought 200 shares of NUGT by mistake.
right.
I was
Yeah.
trying to buy another stock and because of a change in the software, right? The way it was supposed to work, it didn't work, and I didn't even look at the name of the stock. I just went click 200 and buy, and then I realized I'm like, wait a minute, that's a different price. Like, oh no, it's the wrong stock. Ah,
Right. And all of a sudden you're in this issue.
and all of a sudden I'm in that stock, and I decided, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna keep this stock because I'm cool. I'll figure it out, and I'm down several $1,000s.
And you'll always remember.
Yeah. So what do you do when that happens? Get the hell out of the
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah. It usually doesn't get better.
I mean, it can. You can get
It
lucky.
can, but
You can get lucky, but like if you weren't planning on it, or if you wanted to do it paper and you did it for real, um, you know, you can always get out. And that's why we always say, hey, be trading stuff that's really liquid. Don't trade the stuff that's illiquid and you're the only one trading it because if that happens and you try to get out, you're gonna
yeah,
lose
your
several
blood
hundred
pressure is
dollars.
going to go up and up and up. And
Yeah, I mean you'll get out, but they're gonna make you pay to get out.
yeah,
So that's happened too. I put a trade on and I'm like, oh, I did the wrong strike or I did the wrong expiration, and then I'll just get out because I don't want to watch that one as well. And so I will take it as a lesson and be like, yeah, okay, I'll pay the tuition. I'm getting out. I'm not gonna risk it because I don't. That's not what I wanted.
yeah.
Um,
You kind of have bad, I mean, call for what it's worth, but you kind of have bad energy to begin with because you're like, okay, surrounding this trade, you can take
yeah,
that for whatever it is, but you're already kind of in a negative state in a way. So,
yeah, it's starting off wrong. But I was thinking about like how you said like this particular member. put on a real money trade when they've been paper trading for a while, right? And I think they might even be hesitant to put on real money trades. I'm not sure. Like I haven't talked to them, so I'm not sure if there's some mental block there or it's just, fear or whatever. But when you mentioned it, I was like, that might be like it might just be a little push. The universe is kind of like, hey, it's
Get
time to
into it.
trade for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. I mean,
Get off the sideline. You know what you're doing. Time to play for real.
you
Now,
see all different types. Some people just they take forever. They're in the paper state forever, right? And it pushes you, like you just said, it pushes you into the game. You're like, okay, now I'm in the game. I got roughed up a little bit, and then you're like, okay, now I'm good. Some people
yeah.
just need that. It's
I mean, it depends on how you look at the world and whatnot.
sure.
Some people are like, everything is written. So it's like we have free choice and free will, but everything's already written out for us. And so there are no mistakes. There are no coincidences. Everything is supposed to be the way it is. I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then,
Do whatever.
yeah. So like, okay, you were supposed to put that trade on and blow up at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Just, you're
It's
supposed to do
funny.
that just so you could share that story on today's show.
Maybe, but it's funny how like there are certain trades that always stand out to you. And it's a part of the overall journey. But there's always something, some experience somewhere that eventually, if you stick with it, you become a better trader. That's just part of it. So
Yeah. But you're always
doesn't feel
going
like
to,
that at the time, though. Doesn't feel like that at the time. You feel terrible,
hmm
but you got to keep pressing forward.
that's part of it too. Like, the feeling terrible part, like, okay, why are we feeling terrible? You have to sit there and like, go through it. Say, okay, I made a mistake.
You have to
Why?
almost give yourself permission. I mean, be like,
Exactly.
okay, it
you
happens.
know the self-love type of stuff, like, hey, whatever, it happens. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna screw up, and this was a screw up, and I'm gonna get out, and it maybe it cost me a couple $100. Okay.
Yeah, and then you try not to do that again, right? That's the whole idea.
Yep.
But the lesson from it. But I also would say that it can be very tricky. Like for Schwab, for example, you can have the paper version right side by side with the live version, and you have to really have focus to that about which one you're trading in, because you could easily be like, okay, yeah, I put the trade in, and you're like, oops, because it
Mm-hmm.
looks so similar. And not, I mean, that's just the case with Schwab. They don't have the same paper trading mechanism. So
Yeah. So you have to
I
be
don't
aware of the system, like also in Thinkorswim, you can link up several accounts. So I have done that many times when I put a trade on and I realize it's in the wrong account. I'm like, uh-oh.
get out now, get out.
Yeah, it's like I can't do that in this account. No, this is not the right account for that. And so you get out. But it happens, and it's going to happen. It's going to keep happening. It's just part of the nature of the game. But yeah, if you wanted to paper trade it and you put it on a real money, I would say the first thing is you get out and be like, okay. Um, and
And
then
that's
the
what the
other,
member did in this case.
yeah, so that's fine. That's normal. It's like, hey, I'm driving down the street. I need to make a left turn, but I make a right turn instead. What do? You make a U-turn. It's okay.
Get back on.
Yeah, don't freak out. Don't lose your nuts. It's just okay. I'm gonna turn around and make a U-turn and go back the other way. No worries. Um,
It's a lot
and
like golf. Just get back in the fairway. You went way off. Just get back in the middle. That's it.
yep, sweet. Um, cool. All right.
All right. So we have the SmackDown.
All right. I'm excited to see that because I'm looking at some of these meme stocks on the watch list and they're up a lot. Open Door up 16%. I think that one's on the watch list.
Right. And when you did
Um,
it on Wednesday, that was a big down day. So
yeah.
difference for today. All right. You want me to bring it up?
Yeah, yeah. Let's let's
All
let's
right.
see what's going on. I think what I remember is Mark Strickland was in the lead with like 20% plus and everybody else was like way far away.
I think he may be still. Let's see here. 1 second. All right. You see it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, oh yeah, Mark looks like Mark
You're
is still
circling.
in the lead with 25%. So he's even extending his lead. But
And
you
I
do
noticed
have
Micron.
MU is what Micron? Yeah, Micron's up double digits now. It was not before. And then everything else is really far away. Frank, oh Frank, down 22.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a
Uh,
drop there.
yeah, and let's see. Intel is 2%. Um,
IonQ would have been good a few days ago.
IonQ is still
There's our,
down 15 since we
yeah,
started. Yeah,
yeah,
but that's up after yesterday. Big gain yesterday, right?
that's right.
Um, Tesla just had earnings, so that's up a little bit. Um,
They said that was quite an interesting earnings call. He was quite vocal, apparently.
yeah, and Open Door is still down 6% even after being up 16 today. Just today it's up 16%. So that thing was way low. But
Ability.
yeah, those are, those type of meme stocks. It's like feast or famine. You're either going to do really, really good, and then the next day give it all back. And so that's kind of what I'm learning in this market. Like I've had some stocks that were doing really well and I bought calls on them and then I just held them too long. Okla was one, OKLO, right? I had long calls on it. It did really well. I was like, oh my God, I'm a genius. And then they just gave it all back. And I'm like, oh,
Next day you look at it, you're like, "Oop,
it's
oh,
like,
okay."
dang it, I'm getting out at a loss now. And so you have to CRDO was another one of mine. Did really well and then gave it all back. And then they're just fluctuating up and down, up and down. And these are not stocks that we're going to be holding long term. And so I think that's I'm not a big long option type person. I always lose when I buy long options. And so Okla taught me that again. Like, oh hey, yeah, this is not your game, dude.
You find out
Um,
what works for you. You
and I
know,
guess it's because I hold on to it too long. Like I got the gain, you're supposed to get out, I guess, and that's what I'm learning. Like in this type of market, there's some things you can hold, right? Some things like I have some TQQQ that is I'm holding, and I've had that for years, and I'm still holding, and I'm still building that position, and it's doing good, right? But some of these other ones, I don't think they're long-term holds. So when you have a big pop, get out, take the money, and then if you still want to play it, wait till it goes back down again because they do.
yeah.
And that's the trading or the swing trading or the day trading game or whatever. So I'm kind of I'm kind of learning that. Um
Yeah, you
because
take it while you got it.
yeah, because I mean, normally in a normal market, you don't see these types of moves.
Right.
Right? I mean, Open Door, right? It's a $8 stock, so it's not a big dollar, so it's not a big thing. But like Bloom Energy, right? It's $110 stock. Today it's up 8.5%. And I mean, that's on our meme list. And that thing has gone up the last 2 days, but before that, it was up to 121 and then dropped all the way down to like 90 in a week. And then now it's been up for 2 days. So these, it's like you have the gains, you got to take them. And there's no telling if it's going to stay hot or not or when.
Also a different, um, it's a different time in a way, right? You have so much, you're connected so much. So the tweets, trending, you got all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
Twitter, it affects things.
But I do have that. I mean, don't you like feel it a little bit that it's getting to be too much? Like, for an energy company, a stodgy energy company, right? I mean, this thing is supposed to be good for dividends. It's supposed to be good for defense. Like when the market is dropping, this thing is going to be just cranking out cash. And it's not supposed to be jumping 8, 9% in a day
Right.
on no news, right? So it just feels like this stuff it's getting overheated to some degree. Um, and
That's the people saying, "Oh, it's an AI bubble."
it's
Right.
yeah, I mean
Okay.
that people that voice is getting louder and louder.
It is.
But it feels like a lot of FOMO, you know? Like I mean, yeah, I've been doing my naked puts and I've been doing my put spreads and I own some stocks and whatnot. But it's like, okay, hey, I'm doing really well because I can make, like 3% in a week on my naked put. This thing just went up 9% in a day. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe instead of naked puts, maybe I should just buy this. Oh wow, and it's like the greed gets you, and it has gotten me.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the hardest part is to admit that. I think everyone has it to some degree, right? Where it's a natural feeling of FOMO, and you're like, okay, I'm going to miss it. Especially when you, the narrative is like, oh, we're into this whole new stratosphere of AI going forward. It's like no one wants to miss it, right?
but it's not
So
just AI.
programmed. It's
It's
not,
not.
yeah, it's not AI, of course.
It's not just AI. Like,
Crazy.
I've been like, we've been talking about gold. Gold's going up. Gold's going up. Gold's going up. It's going up slightly, slightly, slightly. Now all of a sudden, it's starting to accelerate. The moves are larger. The average true range of gold on a daily basis, the move is much bigger every day. And so I was selling put spreads, and they're working and working and working. And I'm like, okay, can I make more money? How can I make more money? And then I thought, well, the miners, and then I didn't just go into any miner or an ETF. I went into the 3x leveraged NUGT miners, right? And so first I wanted to buy calls, but I bought the stock and then I bought the calls as well. So I've like a bigger position than I wanted. And then the other day that thing was down 20% in one day. And it's like, man, I'm an option seller. I'm not used to these type of moves. Like this is like
I know it's like sleepy and what we're all about, right? How you should be. But there is, you know, uh, people do, including myself, take those plays every now and then,
hmm. Yeah.
for sure.
So I mean, if you're the passive trader who is just like, hey, I just want to make money in my retirement account, then you're trading once a month or something, once a week, and you're just looking at it and you're going. But when you look at it every day, the more you look at it, the more you get caught up in this FOMO and
Right.
noise
And you
and
have to keep
bubble.
it simple. You have to, at the base, right? Doing less is more in
Yeah.
most
So
cases.
so it's like, some people think, oh, I have a job and I can't watch this stuff all the time. They think that's like a negative. But in
No, that's a
in
good thing.
it could be a good thing because it's
Could be.
like keeping you safer. It's keeping you out of this crazy nonsense. Um, and in the long run, I think it works out better because you see people like, you can go online and be like, oh man, I made so much money, and then they disappear and then they lose it
Yeah, you
all.
don't even know if that's even true.
Number one, and then number two, like even if it is true, they give it back
Certainly.
almost every single time. They give it back.
Certainly.
Um, so it's like, yeah, there's two types, right? There's the trader, the passive trader, which is not really a trader, but and then there's the long-term investor, and then there's the gambler.
Right. And I think we are all a mix of that to some degree, right?
Yeah. And we think that the gambling part is what makes you good. Like, oh, the more
Of
I
course.
trade, the more trades I do. I know what's going on with all these different companies and blah 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 blah.
Because
And
it
it
feels good. It's quick and it feels good and it's the shiny object. It's like, okay, yeah, I
hmm
want to do this faster. I can do this. But at the end of the day, you got to have that base, right? And that's what we do.
hmm
So
Yeah.
we tap
And
into that.
I've talked to people who are um they're like in the space like us, right? They're like some of them are much bigger than we are, where they have all these different indicators that they sell and courses and whatnot. And, you talk to them and you look at all their materials, like their sales materials, like, oh, if you had bought this stock, you would have been up 5,000% when we recommended it. And if you bought this one, you would have been up over 1,000% when we recommended it, and blah, 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 blah. But then when you actually talk to the guy and he really tells you what he's doing, he's like, yeah, I try to make like 20, 30% a year. It's like, what? That's what everybody tries to make.
Yeah, like
But you're like,
it
you're
doesn't
like
really work.
Mr. Super Guru, right? You can't lose on a trade. What do you mean 20%? He goes, yeah, I just try to make 20%. That's if they're trading. Most of these gurus don't even trade. So,
Right.
uh,
Or they're cherry picking their results.
oh yeah,
Great.
but they don't, those are all fake, right? Those are like paper
Sure.
money or just back tested. They're not real. They don't, well, it's insane. But crazy. All right. So we have um we have a big week next week with the Fed coming up, so that'll give us some volatility. Markets are, they keep going high. Uh VIX is coming down a little bit. It was over 20 for a couple of days. Now it's in the 16s. So
It
that's good
looks
in a
really
sense.
good. And we're going to the favorable months as a trader.
Yeah, October
November,
is almost over.
December. This is a good time. So I'm really
Hmm.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. And this one, I think this November, December are usually pretty calm where the market kind of just goes sideways. You might have some kind of December Santa Claus rally, which is like 4 or 5%, not really a big deal.
Oh, last year we didn't have it was a no class rally.
Yeah, right.
We
And
were like,
so,
where is
and,
it?
and so normally, November and December are kind of just flat months and they go sideways. And so, it does really well for option sellers. This time, I think we're going to be continuing to make the new highs though. Um,
I think
so
so.
so I'd be a little bit hesitant to be putting on call spreads, um, especially on the indexes. So
Right. And we're really, there is a lot of certainty. Um, Nothing's ever for sure, but we're pretty certain that they're going to cut at least one, maybe two more times. It's going to ease monetary policy. Companies are going to look at that. They're going to have more capital to deal with. It looks pretty good
you
going
also
in.
have rates coming down.
Right.
Mortgage rates have come down. The bonds have come down. The treasuries have come down, and that's even without the cut yet.
Right.
So they're actually moving in advance of the cut because of the economy, and the economy is getting slower. So um,
And it's fascinating. We just hit a new high level of debt, 38 trillion. So I think they said the US government adds a trillion every 3 months to the deficit. Every 3 months, trillion. I don't think everyone understands how big trillion is as a number. Crazy.
that's a lot.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And
interesting times.
if they ever decide, okay, we're gonna tighten the belt, it's gonna be a big shock
Big
to
shock.
a
Right.
lot of people. Um, so I mean,
But I don't know if they can, right? It's a whole nother episode.
yeah, like after you have so many people used to getting
Yeah.
services,
Here's the
then
punch bowl. We keep giving it to you.
yeah, and then you say, okay, hey, the thing is empty, we can't refill it, then, well, yeah, you're not getting reelected, that's for sure.
Right.
Um, so it's going to be take somebody who doesn't really care about getting reelected. Um, but I don't think there's that many people like that in the
I don't
politics
think
at
there's
this
that.
point.
Yeah. I don't think we have the appetite for that.
Because even if you think about the whole game of politics, like you don't just go and become a senator or a president. You got to go up through the ranks. It takes years and years and years of butt kissing and making deals and, doing favors and getting favors done and all this stuff. to actually go and get to that position. It's not like in the movies where it's like, oh, hey, this guy off the street, he just won
He was in this
president.
movie. He just showed up. You know,
Yeah. And he's going to do the right thing.
y'all like him. Change the world.
Yeah, there was that show Designated Survivor. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the guy from 24, I forgot his name. Um, but the idea behind that show was that every time there's like a State of the Union address, right? You have the president, you have the vice president, and you have the whole Congress, and then you have like all the heads of the Homeland Security and the this and the that, and so basically everybody in the whole government is in one building, and then
Not the East Wing.
there's one guy or one person who's not, and he is the designated survivor. So there always has to be one person who's like head of, the HUD or head of something stupid, not stupid,
You're
but
not extinct.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that person does not get to go to the party because if everybody dies, then he's the president because they have that whole chain, right? So it's the president, vice president, this, that, the head of, blah, blah, blah. So if everybody's gone, then here's that one guy that's left and he's the president. So that's what happened in this show. Somebody blew it up and everybody died except for this one guy and Kiefer Sutherland. That's the guy's name. I think.
Oh, actually, I
Yeah.
think about it. I have seen that.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't even want this job and I don't want to be president and I don't want to be reelected and I don't care. So
He
I'm
sat
going to,
home stressing with his wife, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to
yeah.
do this." And
He's like,
you're
yeah,
gonna be great, honey.
he's gonna do the right thing, So he does the right thing in every episode, and people are like, both parties are fighting him, and
Yeah,
this and that and the other thing, and I was like, oh man, that would be cool if it happened. Well, not all the people dying, of course, but it would be cool if like the government was actually steered properly. Um, but
yeah.
oh
It
well.
certainly is interesting times because you look at that debt level, and you look at what the market's doing, and the sentiment, and everything above. It's interesting for sure. But
Okay. All
agree
right.
with it.
Yep. So we'll see what happens next week. Mark Strickland's in the lead. He's got 1 week left. He might be pulling away. We'll see how it goes.
A
And
lot can happen in a week.
he's gonna get the special surprise gift.
All right, what's it gonna? You can't tell me.
Aha. So, all right, folks. Yeah, if you have any comments, put them in the comments below. And if you have any questions for us, you can always reach out to us, but you can put them in the comments too. If you have any questions, we'll answer them on the next show or email us help@optiongenius.com. And we'll see you all next week.
Sounds good.